Hey there, so I'm going to try this video again. I'm going to take 308, which is a Berdan primed case, brass, and we're going to convert that to boxer, but I'm going to use a small primer such as small pistol or small rifle. And the way I'm going to get there is basically take the head off of the primer, leave the main body of the primer, so the sides in place, and then we're just going to press a small primer into its place. So I got two different drill bits I'm using. I'm using a 5/32 stubby. That way I can control it, kind of like centering, and I'm going to drill right through the bottom of the primer. And after I do that, then I'm going to go ahead and kind of ream the edge of it a little bit. And once that's done, then we're going to go ahead and use a .081 size drill bit to go ahead and drill a through hole so we can use our normal loading tools for boxer primer. So I'm going to go ahead and take this guy down. So what I'm going to do is drill right through the bottom of the primer, and I'm going to remove that anvil. That's first. Like that, that's done. We'll move this back and we'll deburr it. Okay, that way I can start the new primer in. If you don't deburr it, you won't be able to start in. So now I'm going to change over to the .081 and drill that primer pocket through. Once I do that, then we'll install a new primer. Pretty easy. The new primer just stays in with pressure like you normally do. Some of these holes that I've drilled through for the primers are a little bit off center, but out of the ones that I've tried so far, it's not been a problem for the dies to work with it. In fact, this one was off center just a little bit. Get that to where you can see it, hopefully. There you go. Alright, so now we're going to move over, and I'm actually going to set the other primer in, a new primer. So I'm actually going to use, I believe, a small pistol primer. It isn't going to make too much of a difference for what I'm doing. And I'm just going to hammer it in. Oops. No, I just lost that one. Okay. So I have a little shell holder here, and then I just go ahead and put my primer up on there. You could use a loading tool, I just haven't been. I have this other little loading tool that I made, and doggone it. That's the second one I dropped, but I recovered it. So if you're going to do it this way, you got to get it on there pretty square. And if you're worried about it going off, then don't do this. In fact, I think just about all the reloading stuff would suggest that you don't do it that way. But I'm all about improvised methods and trying alternatives. So, you know, if I find something that works, I'm going to pass it along. And then it's up to you guys, each individually, to decide what you're willing to do or not do. I would never, ever do that with a live loaded cartridge. But if the blank goes off, if you're wearing eye protection or ear protection, you shouldn't have a problem. It's not to say that you won't, but I mean, if it goes bang, it's going to be down inside this steel piece here that I can just set that into, right? I have some other, I have like the Lee Auto Prime, and I also have the RCBS priming tool on my press that I can use. I just haven't been for this yet. I'm not sure how well that's going to work doing this method, but you know, we'll try it. But either way, these are a couple of those cases that I've done, and they're good to go. So anyway, have a good day.